Where this path leads, I do not know, with all its twists and turns, but I've discovered in the unknown lessons I must learn, and that the darkness walked with Jesus is as precious as the light. Found I come to love Him better as I walk by faith and not by sight. So I will follow where you lead me. I will seek to know your will, and I'll pursue you with my whole heart, your desires to fulfill. And I will trust that you are good, though sometimes I cannot see the blessing through the tears. On this path you're leading me, the blessing through the tears. On this path you're leading me. And in the valley dark with shadows, where the path becomes unclear, and I'm struggling with the feeling that you're no longer near, I will look back on Faith's summit, where not long ago we climbed, and claim again your promises that I trusted at the time. And I will follow where you lead me. I will seek to know your will, and I'll pursue you with my whole heart, your desires to fulfill. And I will trust that you are good, even when I cannot see the blessing through the tears. On this path you're leading me, the blessing through the tears. On this path you're leading me, 'cause it's the paths I once have chosen, where you proved your love for me. The ones that were so painful have become my greatest blessings, 'cause you always have a blessing, even in the tears. So Lord, I'll follow where you lead me. I will seek to know your will, and I'll pursue you with my whole heart, your desires to fulfill. And I will trust that you are good, and that someday I will see all the blessings in these tears. And I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause there are blessings in the tears. Yes, there are blessings in the tears for all who follow faithfully.
So I wrote Blessing in the Tears right at the beginning of going into music ministry. And, God had made it really clear to Matt and I that he was calling us to this. And Matt was excited to be going and serving in this way. He'd done it before we had met. But to be honest, it was the stuff of nightmares for me. I'm an introvert, and the thought of being up in front of people singing is not a dream come true in any way, except maybe nightmares. So I was really confident that God had called me, and I was really angry. And so I decided I'm going to write a song. If I have to sing to people, I'm going to write a song that will just communicate just how horrible it is to follow God, because he's so mean and demands so much of you. So that's the mindset I had as I began writing the song. It's really terrible, I know, but that's where I was. So I actually tried for a year and a half to complete the song, because I really wanted it to like be the biggest pity party that you can possibly imagine. But God had a lot of mercy on me and did not allow me to finish it, even though I tried. And finally, it was about, I think it was right around a year and a half, I started just recognizing, like, even though I didn't want to be doing this, I was seeing that there were blessings in it. And so I started actually asking God to give me a heart to embrace his calling and to love his dreams for me, even though they weren't my own. And as I began praying that, it was really beautiful what God did in my heart, just really changing my perspective and helping me recognize that his dreams are so much better than ours, and the paths that he chooses for us, even if they're difficult and they're uncomfortable at times, they're just full of blessings. And so, and at that point in time, he just kind of inspired the completion of the song. And it's been something that I've just appreciated being able to express, I guess, part of my journey of following Jesus in this way. You know, he says in scripture in Jeremiah 29 that the thoughts I think towards you are good and not evil, and to give you a future and hope. And sometimes, you know, in the midst of the messy parts of life, we just can lose sight of the fact that God's heart towards us is really good, and that he has good things in store if we'll follow him. And even in the seasons of hardship and difficulty, he's working beautiful things in our character. He's working beautiful things for good. So anyway, that's why the song was written. And honestly, I think it's been a really good song for me to sing. As we were getting ready to record it for our latest album, the space between that album, I really actually had to go through a prayerful season, because I just recognized, like, the last couple years have been pretty difficult for Matt and I wanted to be able to sing the song authentically and be able to not just sing it but really mean it, like, because I was in kind of another season of darkness and pain and not really understanding, I guess, the beauty of God in the midst of struggles. And so, it was, I think, just a recommitment to the thoughts in the song, and a recommitment to following Jesus even when it's difficult. And he's been really good. And I just hope it encourages you, if you're in one of those struggles, in one of those journeys where it just feels hard, that it would just remind you that there's good things in store. His heart is good towards you, and he holds us together through the midst of difficulty, and he will bring beautiful things out if you'll let him. And if you'll embrace his dreams instead of just clinging tenaciously to yours, man, the opportunities, the future is beautiful and bright.